obviously the league is very competitive, and everybody's familiar with one another, and the kids are familiar with one another. A lot of them have relationships with one another and communicate on a daily basis. And it's just a lot of the kids are just overall in the entire league. They're hardworking kids. A lot of them work outside of going to school, and they come from really great families here in the communities, the surrounding teams, the surrounding valleys and such. And I think that contributes to how competitive they are in the field, because they compete in the classroom, they compete everywhere else also.
Well, I think it starts with good coaching. I mean, most of the time, you have guys that are staying in one place for extended periods of time, and installing systems and morals in their team, and so I think there's a tremendous amount of pride in coaching in this league, and there's some good people that are coaching in this league, and there's also some really good athletes. I mean, you take the kids from the eastern end with Pine Grove and Williams Valley and Tri-Valley. I mean, all coal region, typical in Wine Mountain, you throw in there, typical region area. They're just hard-nosed, tough kids. And it's just, you get so used to playing one another, and there's a backyard rival pretty much every week, for bragging rights, playing for a lot of pride. So the kids really get after it. So it's a great small school league, and I just think it starts with your coaching staffs, good people, and then filters down to just the blue collar people in this central Pennsylvania area.
The coaches, the players, we're a small league, but there's a lot of great coaches in this league, and there's a lot of athletic kids and players and that play hard, tough-nosed kids. They come from areas, small towns that just breed, tough kids, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's a competitive league, and every Friday night it's a must-win game.
I feel it's the best league that really nobody hears about, because we're kind of tucked on this side of the mountain, and I think what contributes to the competitiveness is the fact that everybody lives kind of generally close to one another, and so they know each other. They've played against each other since they were in peewees, ponies, and midgets, and things like that. So that just contributes to the rivalry week in and week out.
It is the stability on teams, even though you might have some coaching movement around the league. You do have coaches that have been in the league for a while, and they understand the type of football that we expect in the league, and I think that contributes to that just tough, competitive nature of Tri-Valley League football.
I love the Tri-Valley League. I think we're all in the same situation. We're always looking for players. It's just, we know that the coaches have been around a long time. There's several coaches that have been here in the Tri-Valley League. And it's a camaraderie. We all get along, but we know Friday nights we're out to be successful.
You got to stay healthy for one thing, you got to have good discipline to come out each week and play your best game, because year in and year out in this Tri-Valley League, there's always somebody can knock you off each week, Last year we lost one game to Tri-Valley, and we won the Newport by 1 point. It just shows how competitive it is. And the league's always been that way.
I think it's quality coaching throughout the league, and the kids are buying into the coaching philosophy and work hard. And there's just a lot of parity throughout the league. Years past, we've had teams that would run 2-3 years without a loss. That's come to an end recently, and it's been a very competitive league.
Well, you have a lot of neighboring schools. You have a lot of schools the same size. You have a lot of communities with a lot of pride, and they want to do well for their communities, and they play hard. And this league is always a tough league. It's a very competitive league, and you're always going to have a top team. You're always going to have a bottom team or two, but for the most part, teams are very, very competitive, and it comes to how well you prepare and how well you're ready to play week in, week out. And I think it's going to be a lot of the same this year.
Yeah, well, I don't have a lot of experience with the Tri-Valley, obviously coming from the Mid-Penn Keystone. You hear about these teams in the Tri-Valley, and first and foremost, these teams are tough. You know what I mean? They have, these head coaches have been here for a long time. They're able to develop their systems and their philosophies, and these kids have bought into the coaches of these programs. And, they're hard-nosed, tough kids. They're used to playing on grass. They're used to playing in front of small crowds, and they kind of buy into that and feed off of that energy from the small hometown teams.